In a little time. Hi, everyone. This is Jacqueline from She Rises Studio, and welcome to Author Celebration. Today, we celebrate Rise, Align, Shine, living boldly in faith, purpose, and joy. A powerful invitation for women who know they were created for more in a world that there's a constant pull of comparison, of completeness, and conformity. This book reminds us that we were never meant to blend in, we were created to shine. This isn't just your simple book, it's a faith centered roadmap to clarity, healing, and transformation. So please help me welcome and join me in celebrating the author behind this incredible book, Michele Gunn. Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction.
Oh, well, you're very much welcome. And honestly, we are so excited for this book. Actually, this is now making waves and our readers. You are now a bestseller in 8 categories, including Kindle Store, Christian self-help, personal transformation, and so much more. How does it feel to finally getting this book to the hands of the woman that it's intended to be reached?
It is so exciting. I have really had this on my mind for quite a long time, but didn't really have a big picture. I had pieces of things that I have taught, preached, shared with people for years, for
Mm-hmm.
literally years. And I've always felt called to evangelize, really. And I really started honing my mission to help women, especially, really realize who they are, embrace their unique value, and to share it with the world because the world needs the person we were created to be. No one else can be that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Do you remember a specific moment or season in your life that helped you make that decision? I'm going to write this book.
Um, Actually, I kind of had it like on the background. I was playing with the idea.
Hmm.
I talked about it, but
Hmm.
it was when, well, actually, after having experience of joining anthologies, I said, now I have a little bit of experience. It's time to step forward in faith and live my purpose.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And I think, it just needs that little push to help us realize, yes, I can do this. And basically that's what your book is really all about. Your phrase, you were never meant to blend in. You were created to shine. It's so powerful. What does this mean to you personally?
Personally, I do share my story in the book,
Mhm.
and I was always like hiding from people for many reasons. I go into some of that in the book. Some of it was personal image. It was a feeling of not being loved, not
Mhm.
understanding who I am, having people tell me who I am. So really stepping up in faith to embracing who God created me to be is what helped me to decide it's time. It's time to shine. It's time to
Yeah.
share that. It's time to light other people's lights.
That's true. And I think the reason why this book is, touching so many lives right now is because a lot of women feel that same way, that they feel that they are called for more, but they aren't sure as to how to step into it. Why do you think there is such a gap in what we feel and what we do?
Well, a lot of that has to do with, our environment, society, our culture, and the way we were raised. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
women have been put in little boxes forever of what we're supposed to do, and we get so caught up in doing what is expected of us, and not just, what we want to do, but we lose the identity of who we innately are, and we become what we do instead of who we are and who we are created to be. And I think women
That's
are really feeling that.
yes, and I totally, 100% agree with you on that. And what do you think then it feels to live aligned to God's design, the way you were created to be, and not in the box that people try to put you in?
It's right there in the title. It is joy. And when you have joy, that's something that comes from within. It's not the
Mhm.
same as happiness. When you have joy, no one and no circumstance can take that away from you.
100% right. There's a and it's true, it's there's a different shine in your face, in your smile. It's not temporary when you have that joy versus just, the temporary happiness that most of us feel when we eat chocolates.
Yes.
Great. Now, you are a Gallup certified strength coach.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about what this is and how does strength play a role in our spiritual growth and purpose?
Well, I can tell you that I came across the certification when I was working at a parish, and the pastor and I wanted to get parishioners more engaged. A
Hmm.
lot of times when people volunteer, they volunteer in areas that they're already paid to do. Like teachers will come and teach faith formation. It's not
Hmm.
necessarily their innate talents, it's more of a skill that they have,
Yes.
and there's not that passion, or and they don't get the joy out of doing it. So we started looking for ways to bring that to our parishioners, and we came across Gallup Clifton Strengths. And the more we researched it, and I presented it to the pastor, and he's like, yes, I want to do this, because it's not only, it wasn't just good for the parish, it was good for people as individuals. And Gallup focuses, Don Clifton, the founder, focused on what is right with people instead of what is wrong with people. I think our society focuses too much on what we need to fix and not
Hmm.
enough on what we naturally do right and building that up. I, for one, when I took the assessment, I was not totally, some of it surprised me, but not totally. It was more of an affirmation of who I was,
Hmm.
why I was successful in areas, but why I would get burnt out and not have that joy, because I wasn't living or working in my strengths. And when you align those and align those with your faith and what you do to live your purpose, it's just joy filled. The work's not work anymore. You're serving.
That's true. And what does an alignment of mind, body, and spirit look like in an everyday, in a woman's everyday life?
Yes. So, of course, everything's not going to be perfect because nothing's ever perfect. And we're all flawed, yet fabulous. Um, God created us for specific things, for a specific purpose. So, when we're able to live that out in our life, we find joy even in the little things, right?
Hmm.
We have our values and our beliefs, and we're living those instead of maybe, giving into something we don't quite believe in, and we're fulfilling exactly what we were created to be. And for women especially, they're not so much dependent on what other people tell them. Like they don't have to look for the extra external compliments on their appearance, or that they're a good mom, because they already know what value they have and provide.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of women, though, they have there's a tension between um, honoring my faith, my family, versus what the society is expected from me. How do we reconcile
So, just to be blunt, you probably can't always reconcile it because society has their demands and our beliefs don't always fall in line with what society says. So letting go of that and aligning yourself to what you know is right and true and aligning yourself to God through surrender will help you deal with those instances where they are not perfectly aligned. But
Hmm.
you always have a choice in what you do. You just have to, choose what outcome you can accept. And when you give it all up to God, it's a lot easier to do that.
And there's freedom in knowing that I am not expected to do what society tells me to do,
Right.
right? Exactly. And there's such a freeing, feeling, which I think is a direction towards joy.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. Definitely.
So, what do you hope your readers experience as they move through the reflection, questions, and action steps that you have on this book?
We're really because the book is divided up into three sections.
Hmm.
Rise, which is awakening faith and identity. That's understanding who they are and the value they have. The second section is align, living in harmony with God's design, is really accepting what you've found out about yourself and using that to grow and become who God created you to be. And then the shine, the impact, legacy, and living boldly, how to live that purpose out. And I hope that women will get some sense of that. If at all, it'll at least be a beginning in their journey, because life is a journey. Faith is a lifelong journey. And we're always working on that, especially with the pressures of society. But I'm hoping that at least gives them some peace and helps them to find and know their value and have something to work towards.
That's wonderful. Now, to close us off here, what would you say to the woman who feels called but is a little bit afraid to rise?
We're all afraid. Fear is natural. Fear is the devil stepping in when something good is about to happen. Wise woman once told me, you know there's going to be problems because the devil does not want you to succeed. And you cannot be a failure if you don't try. So live through the fear, push through it, and I want to say I am developing a workshop based on my book so that women can get extra help because sometimes just having a book isn't enough. So, and if you just need guidance, please do reach out. I am here to support you.
That's wonderful. And to segue to that, how can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me. I have my website. That's michelegunn.com. One L, two N's, michelegunn.com. They can reach out that way. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. They can DM me, comment, anything like that. And my email is cultivateandthrive@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for reminding us that we don't have to shrink, strive, or settle. We are called to rise in faith, align with God's design, and shine exactly where we are planted. Rise, align, shine is more than inspiration, it's an activation. It's a call to live intentionally, courageously, and joyful in Christ. So, to our listeners, if you've been feeling the tug towards something deeper, this is your sign. Grab your copy of Rise, Align, and Shine today and begin your journey towards living boldly in faith, purpose, and joy. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Michelle. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jacqueline.